Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Montefusco and I'm a lover of all things when it comes to makeup, and today it's yet another continuation of my Pat McGrath series here on my channel. So I'm going to be testing out Divine Rose 2 today. I've had this palette in my collection for about a year now. I received this as a gift for my birthday from my boyfriend last year, which was really nice of him. So I've had this palette since it basically almost since it came out. So I got this, I believe, a few weeks or a month or two after this palette was released. As you can see, I do not have the cardboard. This is the only Mothership palette where I don't have that outer packaging, and that's because when I got this palette in the mail, UPS just completely tossed my package around and the cardboard was pretty much ruined. So this one does not have that outer packaging. Oh well. But if you are interested in seeing me do some looks with this palette, some swatches, just giving you all my thoughts on this palette, then please keep on watching. So as always, I'm going to prime my eyes, and I always like to use this Milani eyeshadow primer. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we will get into the palette. All right, so in case you're not aware, this is what the palette looks like. And as you can tell, mine is very well loved. I have used this palette quite a bit. So I am first gonna start in my crease, and I'm going to go into this rosy matte shade. That's the second shade in the palette. That's on that top row. And I'm going to go into a fluffy crease brush. My Rephr number N306, and I'm going to put that in the crease on both of my eyes. Definitely on the more powdery side, this shade. But as long as you tap off the brush, I have not had any problems with fallout. So how are you all doing today? I am doing pretty well. When I am filming this, actually the following week, so next Thursday and Friday, I'm gonna be out of town for a wedding. I'm gonna be in North Carolina, that'll be fun. And then my birthday is coming up too, which is really exciting. So I'm gonna be turning 23. So that's gonna be, I guess, fun. It's not really a milestone birthday, but I think I'm gonna go out with some friends that Friday, just have a good time. My birthday's on a weekday this year, but I think it'll be nice. So, yep, my last few weeks of being 22. All right, so there's the crease. Very easy to fluff that out and get the pigment into the crease area. So I think today I'm actually gonna do two different eye looks because I really wanna take advantage of this multi-chrome, and I feel like the way to do that is to just do two different eye looks. So I am now going to go into my outer corner shade. And this is also going to be the same on both eyes. So I'm going to go into this like deep purpley plum shade on the bottom corner right there. I'm going to take my Nabla N204 and I'm going to pack that onto both eyes again. And then once we get into the shimmers, we'll start doing something different on each eye. So yeah, what are all of your plans for the summertime? I'm also going to be going on a little vacation end of June, early July. I have a grandmother that lives in Brooklyn, New York, and so I haven't seen her in a while. And so my mom and I are gonna travel up there and have a good time. So I think that'll be fun. I'm gonna see some other family too that are traveling to Brooklyn. You know, eat good Italian food, eat really good pizza, go to the Italian bakeries. So that might get my weight loss a little bit off track. So I'm now going to go into my Nabla N305 to blend. So I'm not sure if I've said this on my channel before, but I have lost a little over 20 pounds since the beginning of the year. I've been doing this very, very slowly, and all I've been doing is just tracking what I eat and making sure I don't eat too much, basically. So it's been going really well, and I have a goal to lose maybe another 10 to 15 pounds. I'm not quite sure yet, but I feel a lot healthier. I like how I'm looking. It's just been a good process, and I like to work out 5 days a week. I lift weights. We have a basement, an unfinished basement in this house, and we have like a squat rack and a barbell and the plates and cables and all that stuff. So I've been working out a lot, which I've been doing for about the past, 2 years on and off. And I've also been watching what I eat and tracking that, and it's been going well. But New York might kind of ruin that. I'm gonna take that packing brush again, go back into that dark shade to just define the corners just a bit more. So yeah, I would say, I'm not a dietitian, this is just what worked for me, but I feel like this can be said no matter what. If you're trying to lose weight for whatever reason, going slow is probably gonna get you the most sustainable results. Like, I am in no rush to reach whatever my goal weight is, because I don't really know what it is, because this is the first time in my life I've had muscle on me. But if you do have some sort of aesthetic goal or weight goal, it's probably better to go slow, because you'll get more sustainable results that way. If my goal was to lose 20 pounds as quickly as possible, I wouldn't have been having healthy eating habits, and I probably would have gained all the way back by now and more. So that is just something to keep in mind. And I'm really happy with how I've been doing it, but if you have a goal like that, there might be a different way you need to approach depending on your health history, depending on your history with disordered eating, depending on all that. So it's just what's worked for me. All right, so now we're ready for some metallics. I'm gonna take this glitter glue from Too Faced, which, by the way, I have seen that this is no longer on the Sephora website, so I wonder if this is being discontinued. Do you all know the answer to this? I'm kind of curious now. So I'm gonna take this, apply this real quick to my eyes, and then we'll go into the different metallics that I'm gonna be using today. So on my right eye, I'm gonna go in with that multi-chrome, and I'm just gonna put that all over, making sure to tap, not to swipe, because if you swipe, you're just gonna show off that black base, which is not what we want to do. So pro tip for applying multi-chromes, tap. And then the other eye, I'm gonna go into that copper shade and also that gold shade. So doing two pretty different looks today, but they have the same mattes, so I'm hoping they'll tie in well together. So now I just wiped off my bake, and I'm gonna go into this hot pink shade with my Nabla number N304. I'm gonna dust this on my lower lash line on both eyes, just to give a little pop of hot pink to the look. It is called the Divine Rose 2 palette for a reason, so gotta give you all some rose in this look. All right, and then for the inner corner and brow bone, I'm gonna go into this shade on the bottom corner right there. This shade has the most dent out of this entire palette, because I think this is the prettiest inner corner and brow bone shade, maybe even in my own collection. It's just so sparkly and champagne-y and just so pretty. And I just absolutely love how this shade looks. All right, everybody, so here are the completed looks. I'm going to apply eyeliner and mascara and also my lips off camera, and then I'll talk about my thoughts on this palette, give you some swatches, and then close out the video. All right, everybody, so this is the completed look. I really like how it turned out. I always love how all my looks turn out when I use Pat McGrath palettes, of course. So in case you're wondering, this is what's on my lips. This is the Give Me Glow Vivid Lip Paint in the shade Peppermint Cocoa. I think it's discontinued. I think this was a limited edition shade, but the lip paints are a great formula. I love my indie brands, and really any dusty pink I feel like is a great lip shade to pair with this palette or even the Divine Rose 1. So what are my thoughts on the Divine Rose 2? So this was the first Pat McGrath palette I ever got. It was a gift from my boyfriend, and so I feel like I'm a little bit biased when it comes to this palette, just because there is some sentimental value there, but Personally, I love this palette. I feel like it's an amped up version of the Divine Rose 1, and it was a great follow-up palette to the Divine Rose 1. It's really great if you like rosy toned, warm toned, peachy, pinky looks that are a bit more intense than Divine Rose 1. It's also a great companion palette to the Divine Rose 1. If you want to mix and match them to use, you know, maybe some more subtle shades combined with some more poppy shades, I think it's really great for that. Overall, it's just a great palette. The Blitz Astral shades, you all know, I always love them. The mattes work great. The satiny shimmers, again, they work really well too, whether or not you want to use them as shimmers or even as like kind of like satiny mattes. I feel like they're very versatile, but that's my thought with all of Pat McGrath's palettes. So overall, I feel like it's a great palette. I love that there's an addition of a multi-chrome in there. I think this was the first mainstream palette that ever really had a multi-chrome. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is the case. And so I really appreciated the innovation there. I will say, compared to my indie multi-chromes, I feel like the Pat McGrath multi-chrome is a bit more softer. So the shift isn't as intense, the base isn't as black, and I just feel like it's a more subtle way to do a multi-chrome. So if you want to dip your toe into multi-chromes, I feel like this palette is a really good way to do that. But if you want really intense wham bam multi-chromes, I feel like Cleona is a great way to go, and Terra Moons is also a great way to go. Those are my two experiences with multi-chromes. So overall, I love this palette. I think it's great. And now let's get into some swatches. So the first shade is a just very nudie sort of, I would say it's like a nudie pink. And then the second shade is this dusty rose I used in my crease. And this third shade is like a metallic, satiny kind of purple. So this is what the first three shades look like in the palette. They all swatch beautifully, and I've worn these all on my eyes and they look great as well. So the next three shades, we have that Blitz Astral Bronze, that Blitz Astral Gold, and also that matte purple that I used in my outer corner. So there's what those shades look like, and also on my finger. The Blitz Astral Bronze and Gold definitely have more of that smooth Blitz Astral texture versus like the rougher texture that sometimes Pat will put in her palettes. And then I'll swatch the last four shades just because I guess I can. So we now have like a darker purpley, browny, kind of metallic, that hot pink, the multi-chrome, and that inner corner and brow bone shade that I used. So that is the whole palette swatched on my hand, and then these are what the shades look like as well on my fingers, those four shades. So I would say this multi-chrome, if I had to describe the shift without looking at the explanation that Pat gives, I would say it's definitely a green to a hot pink. That is the two main shifts with an intermediate shift of like a yellowy sort of gold. So it's a really pretty shade. It is very subtle. You definitely want to tap it on versus rubbing. If you rub in a multi-chrome, you're just gonna see that blackened base. But when you tap it, I feel like it looks really nice, and it's a really nice and subtle way to get into a multi-chrome. So overall, it's a great palette, swatches really well, looks really great on the eyes, nothing to complain about here. So that is it for my Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2 video. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all are also enjoying this series. I believe I have 2 more palettes to go. I have one of the Blitz Astral Quads that came out for holiday, I think 2.5 years ago, and I also have the Mothership Mega that came out for holiday this past year. So I'll be doing videos on those as well. They may take a bit just because I am going to be going on vacation. I'm doing a lot of pre-filming, so keep that in mind. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you are enjoying this video and the series, please hit the like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you like me, please subscribe. I'd love to have you all here. I am posting 3 times a week currently. That's probably going to change come the late summer, early fall, just because I am going to be starting grad school part-time as well as working full-time with my current job. So I'm going to be a bit busy, but for now, while you have me 3 times a week, please enjoy it. And also, if you have anything to comment down below, please comment that down below. I love interacting with you all. And yeah, with that, thank you for watching the video, and I will see you all next time. Bye.